In the past, everyone's airplane was limited. Helicopters that hovered and danced in narrow spaces dominated the vertical lift area. This was ahead of other airplanes in terms of speed or the possibility of long flights. The only bad thing is that airplanes can land without the need for a runway, but this helicopter cannot. Then I had an idea. What if an airplane could do both? It was a bold, dangerous, and ambitious idea. This airplane was too risky at first, but then they had a better idea. And in doing so, it blurred the distinction between airplane and helicopter, creating one of the most sophisticated and misunderstood flying machines of our time. The Leonardo AW609 is more than an airplane. It is an engineering marvel. Compared to other airplanes, this helicopter offers you the opportunity to take off and fly directly into the air, and it also has the ability to land, which is called Tiltrotor in aircraft science. On the runway, it resembles a science fiction movie. It has large rotors on its wings, and it looks like a very elegantly designed aircraft, like a vehicle dressed in a suit. Here we see this helicopter flying in a different shape, but that's only because the rotors are tilted forward as it flies. The world's first commercially targeted tiltrotor aircraft, the AW609, has been redesigned for civilian skies after having military roots. It was first built 35 years ago in a place called Bell and then sold elsewhere and continued from there. Although the military had already embraced tiltrotors with the V-22 Osprey, Leonardo had an idea that would change the world. A flying ambulance, or a world where everything flies. Most importantly, when America is transporting oil, it is the fastest way to get it in the air. And because it has such a long range, it is easy to fly. Like its design, its performance characteristics are unique, almost unheard of for rotary wing aircraft. The AW609 can reach altitudes of up to 25,000 feet and cruise at speeds of over 500 kilometers per hour, about 310 miles per hour. This airplane does exactly the same things as a helicopter. With a range of more than 1,400 kilometers, it fills a long-standing need in aviation. You can't fly fast and long in comfort in other airplanes, but in this one you can fly fast and long in comfort. And thanks to this, for example, you can take patients to the hospital easily and you can make expensive flights. However, safety and innovation are woven into its DNA. Speed and safety are paramount, but there are other paramount considerations. The AW609's fully pressurized cabin is a feature not often found in vertical lift aircraft, making high-altitude flight safe and comfortable for both crew and passengers. The advanced fly-by-wire flight will solve your discomfort, for example, when this airplane first takes off vertically and then continues horizontally. As a result, pilots can handle the aircraft more smoothly and passengers experience less turbulence, even when the rotors rotate from one control axis to another. In many ways, the AW609 is a quiet development revolution. Designed for tactical deployments in war zones, the AW609 responds like a V-22, like a businessman, dresses like him, reacts like him. This aircraft responds to you with a more formal language. It is number one for things like border patrol, executive travel, medical evacuation. But the highest efficiency is that it can take off and land in mountainous areas where there are no roads. It can fly over mountains. It can land on a hospital helipad, and when landing, it does not land at normal speed. Think of a jet. Think of its speed. It has the aspect of making you feel as if you are at that speed. Everything on this airplane is 5 stars. But the worst part is that it had to be approved for a long time, and the certification took a long time. Everything was looked at one by one, even the tiltrotor engine, how it works, because this aircraft was going to be the first of its kind in the world, and it had to be adapted to the way normal airplanes work. Working closely with the FAA and EASA, Leonardo created a new regulatory route that could open the door for future tiltrotor aircraft. Now, this airplane is very close to being ready to fly, and despite all the hard work and long study, they hope to have it ready in a few years. This plane hopes to do something new, a first in the aviation industry, which is to fly more vertically. It sounds a bit absurd, but you get used to it. With urban air mobility, UAM, gaining traction, the AW609 is a transitional type that is more capable than a helicopter and less radical than an eVTOL concept. By doing this, they want to take a step into the future. With this airplane, for example, you can fly vertically and travel a longer distance without stopping anywhere without refueling. We don't have to decide between traveling between cities and living on city rooftops. Both are available to us. Now think about the implications for emergency response, offshore energy, and remote infrastructure. The AW609, for example, has the possibility of picking up someone in the city and dropping them off in a mountainous area as it pleases, but they want to develop this a little more. Without sacrificing jet-level comfort, it could transport top executives between crowded cities like Manhattan and Boston in less than an hour and land directly on the roof of a building. It makes such flights safer and faster, and you are providing all-round assistance to the government. And on the plus side, it allows the government to use this aircraft by outperforming other aircraft in terms of range. Furthermore, the performance metrics are outstanding. With a range of around 1,400 kilometers, 870 miles, the AW609 can cruise at 510 kilometers per hour, 275 knots, almost 3 times the normal range of a helicopter in the same weight class. It flies higher than other airplanes and also allows you to fly very long distances. What do you expect from this? You need to feel such discomfort on long flights and high flights. But this aircraft eliminates this and provides a more comfortable and safer flight. This company is saying that we are the kings of this business in vertical flight. This is not just a rotorcraft, this is a business jet with vertical takeoff. But what the AW609 symbolizes psychologically is that they have taken it to a very high level by saying that they will adapt the technology in this aircraft to daily life and use it there. For many years, tiltrotors were used primarily in the military, and because of that, they always said it was costly and risky to fly and uncomfortable. But you can't say that with this aircraft, and that's not the case with the AW609. When tiltrotors are used by everyone, whether it's regional jets or helicopters, we may have the freedom to land wherever we want. But there are still challenges. The aircraft's long development history, which began in the 1990s under Bell and Augusta, has taught us to be patient. After a prototype was lost during a test flight in 2015, there was talk of redesigning the aircraft, which was a waste of time. But it was a good thing because the bugs have been ironed out. Also, the tiltrotor requirements are not yet fully met by the regulatory environment. Leonardo has prepared a document to help pilots to put their lives in order and also to save people's lives by teaching them medical knowledge. And if this is accepted by the Commission, it will help pilots to be seen as heroes in the eyes of the people. Yet interest continues to grow. Numerous customers from the US, the Middle East, and Europe say they would like to buy the AW609 and make it their own private flying car rather than rescuing people. Moreover, the AW609 may be coming at an ideal time when urban congestion is worsening and demand for fast, adaptive transportation is growing. The AW609 is both helicopter-like and jet aircraft-like, so the cabin is very different. The pressurized fuselage allows up to 9 people to travel on this aircraft, from a VIP layout with leather club seats to patient transport. Isn't that too few? Strong soundproofing, a smooth ride even at high altitudes, and good visibility are essential for everyone, because you would be uncomfortable with small windows inside. The AW609 is the most operationally flexible aircraft in its class. Conventional helicopters are limited in speed, range, and altitude. Fixed-wing aircraft require runways. But with this aircraft, you don't have to worry about that because you can fly long and its performance won't let you down. It is perfect for point-to-point flights in isolated areas, islands, and even cities without runways because it can take off and land vertically while cruising like a jet. It allows you to fly from the roof of a hospital to another distant important hospital in a very short time, regardless of road or rail conditions. That is the purpose of this aircraft. A marvel of modern engineering is the tiltrotor mechanism itself. 2 rotors attached to rotating nacelles at the tips of the wings can switch between vertical lift and horizontal cruise modes in seconds. The control mechanisms, which precisely change rotor angles, power distribution, and aerodynamic surfaces, change without disturbing you. A fly-by-wire interface and automated control panels that manage much of the behind-the-scenes complexity sometimes frustrate pilots to the point of boredom. Naturally, safety comes first. Following the tragic crash of the second prototype in 2015, Leonardo has completely overhauled this aircraft, reorganizing everything inside from scratch and making it more beautiful. Stricter test guidelines, improved simulation modules, and new training programs were also implemented. The AW609 aircraft is waiting for certification, and the whole world is talking about it and waiting with excitement to receive it shortly. This is an important step towards the popularization of tiltrotors in civil aviation. Despite its technological superiority, the AW609 has a special problem: changing public opinion. Many people still don't consider tiltrotors as military vehicles. And when they do, they ask themselves whether this aircraft is not being used as a private aircraft. For Leonardo to succeed, it needs to sell a whole new class of aviation, not just airplanes. This begs the question, will helicopters and airplanes be able to land directly without any runways, or is speed essential? More than just a technological advance, the Leonardo AW609 is a paradigm shift in the way we think about flight as we approach full certification. By combining the speed and range of a fixed-wing aircraft with this vehicle, it raises the question of whether we are making a better or worse airplane. The AW609 offers easier opportunities for emergency responders, corporate flyers, and paramedics, and it also offers many other features. But hesitation is part of innovation. Will passengers adopt and love this airplane structure? Is the age of the civilian Tiltrotor really upon us? Follow us to find out, and let's meet in the comments.